Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Greg. And this is the Greater Than Golf podcast. All right, let's do it.
All right. Well, welcome to the Greater Than Golf podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about mindset. And that is one of our three pillars. We'll probably circle around a lot of these. There's quite a bit of content we could off of any of them, but
Sure.
You want to tell them what our three are?
Yeah. So the three pillars of Greater Than Golf are mindset, practice, and play. They fold into our mission statement, really about having a direction towards experiencing and living the fullness of life. And Greater Than Golf is about how we get there through a transformative mindset, intentional, dedicated practice. There's a set of practices, or there's a concept of practice that we do in our hearts and our minds and with our bodies.
Right. And then meaningful, joy-filled play. That'd
Absolutely.
be the last one, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
mindsets today. I hope you guys really enjoy it. It is good to be back here with you again, Greg.
Hey, yeah.
So we talked a little bit, and I asked you what like the mindset aspect you really wanted to cover today, and if you wanted to mind like reiterating that a little bit of what where we want to go with mindset today.
Yeah. I had an idea which really was focused around how our mindset can be transformed. It comes out of Romans 12, 1 and 2, around allowing you to have your mind transformed through the spiritual act of worship. And what was interesting in Romans 12, 1 and 2, as I was reading that, was this act of worship that occurs physically. So in thinking about our pillars, there is a practice and there is play, which can be in many ways an act of worship. And what that does is there is this reciprocating behavior that we have that happens in our hearts and our minds, and that is around our mindset, how our mindset is transformed towards worship. And if we think about worship, then we think about our creator and who is our creator, and that we are created. And so I think the part that begins a mindset is really about who we are.
Yeah.
And that we are created, and that in that there is some implied things that come with it.
Totally. Like the important piece of us and who God is, who we are in relation to him should inform quite a bit. Like should inform everything of how we approach life and golf.
Yeah.
When I think of the word transformation or being transformed, I kind of get into a little bit of my inner workings, inner world. What I'd say is not just like, you can try to go through a physical transformation by working out, working hard. But I think the mentality piece and how this connects in there is the transformation of the inner world, and in relation to who God is and who we are. That makes me think of what is true about us, and then maybe sifting out maybe the things that are maybe the not true about us, the lies we're believing about ourselves, or just how who we are supposed to be as images of God or created beings has been corrupted through the world and through what we go through. Maybe what things we've experienced through brokenness or through whatever it is that aren't ideal.
Right.
And how that can introduce in things that we maybe think are true about us that maybe aren't.
Yeah. When you say the inner world,
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned about how maybe things throughout our story have crafted parts of our inner world.
Mm-hmm.
I think the question I'm wondering about is, when you say inner world, what is it that comes to mind? How would you describe your inner world?
Well, I think there are, and this is a few different places I've gotten this from. I think there's a spiritual reality.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's maybe our world, our physical reality that we're a part of.
Yeah.
And that has to do with like circumstances and all these things that we experience from the outside.
Yeah.
And then I also believe we have this inner being or inner self in a way, and it's unique to every single one of us, and we're the only ones really experiencing us and kind of know what's happening. But it has to do with like our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings, and then our corresponding beliefs about ourselves, our self-beliefs, let's say, which can be derived from things that have happened to us, that what the world tells us about ourselves, but also can be derived from the spiritual world of like maybe who God says we are. And if we can internalize that can drive our belief about ourselves, our self-beliefs.
Yeah.
So I think that might be what I'm talking about when I say inner world for the most part.
Yeah. We were talking about this just a little bit earlier when we were met up on the putting green around what it is that we bring based on how it is that, or what it is that we believe about ourselves versus what the truth is. And you mentioned that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think we get clouded up pretty well through what we've experienced in trying to hatch out or like maybe clean out some of those places in us that might say, you know, not everybody has the best experience with coaches or parents or other kids on teams that they grew up with, or like their classmates or friends or things like that.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of messages that these people in our lives or things in our lives, maybe it's culture too, try to deliver or bring into us that we might start thinking is actually who we are.
Yeah.
It could be like, well, I'm just not a very good putter.
Yeah.
Or driver of the golf ball or whatever it is. It's these I statements I find myself saying or thinking.
So like an I am this, or I am,
or even it could be this voice that's like, you are. And it's like, it feels like an outside voice. Like you're just not that good. It could be the voice of your wife saying, you just never finish a project.
Sure.
Whatever project it is, or you never, a lot of times they're definitive statements. I feel like they're these like, but if you examine these statements that say you never, or I never, that are in our head, is that really true? That's the question.
Yeah.
Right. So how would you think of like how you can hash out whether what's actual or what's not? There could be like breaths of truth. It could be like something that might have happened, right?
Yeah. I wonder when we try to figure out what the truth is versus what it is that we really believe about ourselves. Sometimes what we think that we really believe about ourselves is really what other people have told us or what we have experienced, and we begin to take that on without the environment or the context of the truth. When those things may have an element but they are associated with what we did, right? So you said something like I'm a terrible putter or you are a terrible putter.
Mm-hmm.
For me, when we were playing today, I could easily say I cannot figure out how to get this drive. I'm 6'2", 205.
Yeah.
How is it that I can't drive the ball farther? What is going on?
Yeah.
I could say something like, well, I'm a terror. I can't figure this out. The thing is, though, is that's not necessarily true. There were other things that, so there's this physical experience or manifestation of the actions
Mm-hmm.
that occur while we're playing in the act of play
Right.
that maybe are true in the sense that, hey, here is the outcome. Here's the outcome of a particular way that things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you could call it fact, but there are outcomes.
Yes.
Here's what occurred. This is what I said to my wife. This is what I said to a friend.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, or this is what I've heard from somebody else. The thing is around the voices that we hear and what we take on to understand. Is that really true?
Is that really true?
Is that really true of me? Now, we could say without practice or without Elizabeth and I were skiing.
Yes.
Right. And
Yeah.
we were talking about that the other day. And certainly as I began to think about skiing or golf or whatever the skill set is, there's a certain level of skill
Mm-hmm.
at which we're all at.
Yes.
So you have a handicap that would show that the outcome of your game is better than mine. My handicap
On average.
on average.
Yeah.
Right. And my handicap is not.
Yeah.
So could you say that the truth is that you are a better golfer than I am?
I mean, you could say that. And you could also there's also taken into consideration like all the different practice and like the amount of time I've put into it.
Right.
And like, I don't think the golf is a fun game because I don't think anybody actually just picks up a club and is just good at it right away.
Right.
It takes so much commitment and effort. Yeah. And not everybody has the time or should have the time. Like a lot of my golfing skill has been gotten by misplaced priorities, I'd say. So yes, I mean, I sacrificed or maybe chose golf over a lot of other things that might have been important in the time. So there you can, I guess there's a lot of different judgments you can put into what actually makes you into be a better golfer.
Right.
It does take a lot of time, commitment, and effort.
Yeah.
But when we get back to like the inner world transformation piece, and we're talking about maybe these messages we've taken on, these beliefs about ourselves that might or might not have some bit of truth to them, but are they the actual real truth about us?
Yeah.
And fleshing that out. I mean, I think that's a section of inner world transformation.
Yeah.
Right. Is fleshing this out and really kind of dealing with this.
Yeah.
When you would think about dealing with whatever those messages are, whatever that type of belief about yourself you might have taken on, what would you say would be maybe an effective method to gauge some of these things or find maybe notice these, and how would we deal with them?
There are things that we begin to tell ourselves when we begin to feel there are moments of depression, moments of even at work today, thinking about, I don't know the technology or I don't know the workflow method that is making me feel effective or successful.
In the extreme, if you'd, in this scenario, right, if you're talking about work, you don't know something, you are feeling what? What does that really make you feel like?
It makes me feel useless.
Useless. So then what do you end up telling yourself?
I sometimes go straight to outcomes.
Okay.
I'm going to be the next one who's going to get workforce reduced. That's what the word
what does that
word
mean
is.
about you?
And that means that I am useless.
Useless.
I can be tossed.
Right.
I am not valuable. I don't have value.
Oof.
I don't have,
like, you give me, like, I'm getting chills, because like not the good chills.
right.
Like, you start getting, like, that's when these, you take these to, like, when you start internalizing them and taking them to the level of I ams, that's when it cuts.
Yeah.
Deep. And if they have enough time, or like this is a repeating pattern over and over again, you're probably going to start believing something about yourself that is not.
The core part to it, though, is around your use, whether you want to call it usefulness, or even at the very core that you are loved, that you are created with purpose and intent and even longing. And when we come to begin to understand that and where that is from, I think that's part of the transformation that occurs. However, it's a difficult thing to move through. The murky places and the dark and gray places, especially when the outcomes can sometimes, they're very tactile or tangible, because even in my work, there's people that have been laid off or let go, or and so you wonder, is that, why did that happen? Because for us, some of us in our space, it seems completely random.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
you see yourself in that gigantic, at least the environment that I'm in currently, is that gigantic corporate structure where you're expendable. It's not, you either cost too much and so you need to get let go, or whatever it is, or
so I see a little functional problem here of, like, where you're seeing yourself and relating to. And we talked about this just briefly. It's like, okay, well, then switching the viewpoint of seeing ourselves in relation to God and what he thinks about us.
Yeah.
Right. Versus all these other things that are, like, really less important and trivial when it comes down to it, if you have the right vantage point of who we are and who we belong to.
Yeah.
Whose we are.
Right.
Right. You don't really belong to HP or the big juggernaut, whatever.
I did sign the paper that says all the IP, any idea belongs to them.
Yes.
But that's not my inner world, though.
No.
Right.
No. And it's not the spiritual reality, or, like,
Yeah.
So it is this turning around. And when you're speaking of, like, you are loved, you are worthy, or like, and those type of things, like, that gave me the chills in the other direction.
Right.
Like, if I can internalize those, and see myself still as small in relation to God, but also, like, as his son, like, beloved son, like, really important.
Yeah.
And then I can replace them with some I am statements that are, like, and I have these on my phone. It's a list.
Yeah.
That have replaced. Yes. I have a list on my phone that has replaced all the negative I am statements that I've went through and done work through.
Yeah.
Things like mine were, like, I am alone. I am, I'm not, I replaced I am not a safe man with I am a safe man.
Dude,
that was core.
That's a deep one.
I am not alone. like that is
Mm.
not true.
Mm.
I am loved, like I am worthy.
Yeah.
This list that I can pull up my phone that is reminds me. And all this is a reminder and pulls me
Yeah.
out of the spiral
Yeah.
that can sometimes happen when we're not, if we're not careful, if I'm not careful.
That spiral can be really intense when there is a lot of activity around it. There are so many times when our culture or social media or whatever it is, the voices and the tone and the culture for us, whether it's to hustle or to fight or to pursue, in a way, those things inherently aren't necessarily, it's like, yeah, let's go get after something or go acquire a new skill or
Yeah,
whatever it
totally.
is.
And in my case, I go and even so in business, on a couple businesses, like in the back of my mind, I feel like I'm destined to fail, which is really not helpful.
No.
But I do go into these well, it's only a matter of time. But I like in spiritual reality, like, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we really destined for?
Yeah.
And we don't have to do anything for it or earn it or make the profits that whatever the paycheck or the bank account. Like, what are we really destined for?
Yeah. Glory.
Glory. Like
heaven on earth.
Can I replace that? I'm destined to fail because that's the world standard. And whether a business doesn't make it or makes it or makes a certain margin or serves a certain number of people or whatever it is, or has a certain amount of sales, can I actually believe, like really, truly believe that I'm destined for glory no matter what I do or my businesses do? That is, I mean, that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, that's a huge challenge.
Yeah. You asked about how to get into that space, reminding yourself you have a list. For me, sometimes it is finding enough of a place, a quiet place, to begin to, whether it's breathing or an environment, putting myself in a place to get away from noise, chaos, external anxieties, those kinds of things. Maybe that's why I love the mountains so much.
Yeah.
There are places in which to enter where the noise of the things that of those voices or those things that want to speak into, whether it's a lie or a twist of the truth, want to continue to pervade in the way that I'm thinking about where we're headed.
Yeah.
Versus finding the truth in some of the still, quiet places.
Yeah.
And allowing some of that to shed and finding a place to really breathe. In some ways, just be human. The core parts, which is breathe, sleep, rest, and be restored and be renewed through reading scripture. It might be a list, but every single time it's a reminder. This is the way things were. This is what God has done. This has how I have restored not just the world, but how I have reconciled and restored you to me.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like quality time with in God's creation to me.
Sometimes it's just here in in my office.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes it's just create a quiet place. I know that for a lot of people, it's 5 a.m., whatever it is, before anybody's up and around and the dogs or the kids or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I know that
Get
for
away
me,
from the noise.
to get away from the noise, but to do it intentionally. It's not just sleep is great, but to do something intentionally on a as a regular practice or a habit,
Yeah,
is a fantastic way to find yourself in a moment to really almost daily rediscover the truth.
yeah. So I want to kind of get us, because we are greater than golf. I mean, this is life too. Like we don't want to just show up on the golf course ready to play. We want to show up in our lives, ready to engage well within them in order to their spheres of influence wherever we are. But I don't want to get back to the golf course a little bit.
Yeah.
So bringing this to the golf course, like say maybe it's you're not a good chipper, not getting personal. I'm not trying to get personal, but maybe you have trouble.
I feel like that's going to be a theme as we go on.
Maybe you have trouble getting a wedge underneath a ball and getting it up onto the green without, the leading edge getting in the way.
It's narrowing. It's like within 30 yards or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, narrowing, that's good. I mean, for me, this has happened in times where, putting isn't like the putting green for me is the gauntlet of the golf course.
Yeah.
It can be a 4-foot putt. It can be a 10-foot putt. It can be an 18-foot putt. It doesn't matter. They're all it feels so important to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when they get that important and you start missing them when you feel like you should be making them. I was once playing with somebody that I really wanted to impress. And I found I missed a short-ish putt pretty badly and then missed the next one. And then all of a sudden I'm like panicking to get it into my pocket.
A downward spiral
like all of a sudden I'm playing hockey. Like there was the downward spiral of putting, which I have experienced in the past. Let's just say that.
Okay.
But one thing that this was successful for me. Let's just say that. When I got on the putting green for a while there after this incident, all of a sudden this feeling of dread took over my body. Like kind of way.
It's very tactile. It's visceral, right?
It's visceral.
You can feel it through.
And the void. Like, just go ahead. 3, write down bogey now. You had a birdie putt.
There we go.
Go ahead and write down bogey. Right?
Yeah.
And the guy that I wanted to impress was a mentality coach.
The irony is so rich.
Irony. But one practice that was to just start smiling whenever I got onto the putting green, intentionally.
Yeah.
Because my body and my brain didn't want to smile. But physically smiling.
Yeah.
And trying to bring in some feeling of delight or joy.
Yeah. Which
your body lets out chemicals when you smile.
Yeah.
Even if it's fake. But it kind of righted the ship for me. In a way of just getting in the habit of smiling whenever I got on the green and then taking joy that I was just there. That helped me get over that sequence on the golf course of, I think let's talk about your, there's a different dynamic here.
Yeah. There's expectation. There's, an internal same feeling of dread where I'm just going to blade it across the green, and we're going to be doing this a couple of times, until I can or just hit it fat, hit it fat, hit it thin, that whole thing. And then, and I think the internal part inside of me is hearing the voice of disappointment
Mm-hmm.
in my performance around the green.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And initially this might, it wasn't, it's the voice. It's just a voice.
It's just a voice.
It's just a message that you've taken on. And initially that might have happened from somebody that might have been important for you to impress.
So it's my dad. My dad is an important voice.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not really his voice though, right?
No, it's not his voice. It's more about that's what's interesting is, what is it that we take on
mm-hmm.
that are self-imposed expectations?
Mm-hmm.
What's fascinating, even around the green, I could even feel it today, even though I haven't played in like 3 months, and we were playing a couple of holes, and I could feel it coming in because it's such a regular part of my game, which is an unfortunate thing. So, but you mentioned kind of that visceral, tangible thing that you can feel in your body
mm-hmm.
around it. And one of the fascinating things around it is you start to believe that, I need to be determined and focused, and here's what I'm going to do.
Beat up my mental strength or something.
Like I'm going to wrestle this thing,
or practice or something.
Yeah.
Right.
When really it's freeing your mind. To kind of bring things back around,
mm-hmm.
that transformative mindset is around figuring out, how do I begin to smile through that? How do I begin to understand the joy that it is to be where we are, to even be able to be playing golf?
Yeah. Even when you do blade it across the green or chunk it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then not let that, and then the recovery from that,
mm-hmm.
like it doesn't have to drive you into the shutdown mode or whatever it is, or
What's fascinating is, I think all of that is available. Like the technique is available. The
mm-hmm.
methodology is available in my body, how I hold my, where I position my hands, how I backswing, whatever, all of that stuff. It's available because you find it,
mm-hmm.
on occasion, something happens where that was it.
So if you let me,
mm-hmm.
what is the message that it really, like, what's the I am or you are statement that is coming when you go to grab your wedge and you're around the green? Like, what is the voice saying?
The first thing that comes to mind is, here we go again.
Oh. Okay.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
What kind of guy or what kind of golfer can't hit a wedge shot?
True. Yeah. It's those, it's like the bump and run, or just a little bit of spin, or it's those shots, right? Mm-hmm. When you're within 10 feet, 20 feet, whatever it is. Yeah. Right. And, I don't know that I've actually gone there. Right, John?
I'm inviting you to go there. Like, what is it? Like, what is it? Like, really, what is that saying about you?
So the voice says is, I am incapable.
Mm.
This is, I took some video of myself one time mm-hmm. doing this, and just completely turning my hands over, all kinds of wrist action. It was ridiculous.
Okay. So this, hold.
Uh-huh.
You said ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
So, I like to, and forgive me, but I like to take things to extreme just to draw contrast.
Sure.
Because this is what it really, like, if I can get you a little bit, then make you feel it, then we're getting closer to the core.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it was ridiculous. So what does that mean? What is that?
I'm ridiculous.
I'm ridiculous.
I'm foolish.
Oof. Foolish.
Essentially a fool out here.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And there is a degree of what is it that you look like, out on course.
Yeah.
And if I blade it across, then I'm a fool.
So
this is ridiculous.
So how far, like, if the "I am foolish" statement,
mm-hmm.
or "I look like a fool," or whatever feels the most pertinent right there.
Yeah.
If you took that back to how old would you say when you first felt that tinge?
I don't know. It'd probably be junior high,
When you
junior high time when I was first starting to play tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Played a few tournaments with some friends.
Is there is there a memory of like a pertinent, like, really experience that was like the...
For me, it's not necessarily golf, but it was baseball.
Oh.
So if there was a specific moment, if we're gonna go there,
what was the color of the grass?
The color of the grass. I remember the jersey.
Okay. What was
it was striking out.
Mm.
But I think that was more like right around 5th grade or so. 5th grade, 6th grade. But yeah, striking out. The interesting thing about baseball,
mm-hmm.
this is why we need David here, right?
Yeah. He will come on the podcast.
Is on the striking out happens all the time.
But you know that now. But back then,
I know that now. But back then, you think striking out is everybody is looking at me.
Oh yeah.
Everybody is watching.
Uh-huh.
Everybody can see every swing. And that is an interesting thing about baseball.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at you perform.
Yeah, you're up to bat.
Yeah, I'm up to bat. Mm-hmm. And
people are in the stands.
For whatever reason. And I've struck out a whole bunch of times.
And you have a team relying on you.
Yeah. And I struck out a whole bunch of times afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever it is, that one moment is just having the memory of striking out, mm-hmm. and the response for striking out was pure disappointment from my dad.
Oh,
at least that's how I remember it.
Of course, and right? we're not hating on your dad. We're just like this is the memory's got the power here.
Oh yeah. And that's what holds.
Mm.
That is the grip. And it's
so here's the interesting piece of delving back in and seeing, okay, the strikeout, this happened. You saw a look of disappointment, or was it?
It was a sound.
It was a sound of disappointment.
Yeah, not a look.
So what was it? Verbal? Like it was actual words?
Oh yeah. Well, It wasn't a word. It was more of just different people do different things. It's just an expression of.
You just knew, though.
Oh yeah, you just knew.
You knew.
Oh yeah,
you knew.
Oh, I knew. Yeah.
You knew you let somebody down, or
our team, my dad.
Your dad.
In some ways, myself.
There's a lot of weight.
I mean, there's a
lot of weight on this 5th grader. That
sure,
like to, put him up to bat. He strikes out. and then
He is
a that fifth grader was
you're foolish. You're
foolish.
ridiculous.
He was an embarrassment.
Oh yeah, embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, do you feel what do you feel for that fifth grade Greg, who's still in here right now? He's just inside of you, obviously, because he shows up on beside the green, from 30 yards and in once in a while.
The core part of embarrassment is humiliation, embarrassment.
But right now, looking back at your fifth grade Greg, if you could go like right now, look back at him, how do you see him?
Oh yeah, I see that kid as just beginning to discover what is actually capable. Like
so if I was fifth grade Greg right now, if I'm
sitting there watching,
what would you tell me?
It's what I would tell my own son when Isaiah was playing. It's all right, bud.
Yeah.
There are a whole slew of pitches still to come.
Yeah.
This is okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to say that to you. You become fifth grade Greg right now.
Okay.
But it's okay. There's a whole slew of pitches and balls around the green or whatever it is to come. Like strikeout to strikeout. But you're going to hit some balls. Like you're going to hit some good shots going forward. And you can look forward to that.
Yeah.
Every one at a time. And you can do it.
Yeah.
Like you are capable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So can you think you could take that and internalize it a bit and bring yourself into now and have a little bit different outcome or a little bit different mentality?
Well, sure.
Maybe. We haven't gotten around the green yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten around the green yet. I think I have been wondering about how to work through or figure out or break that cycle of mindset around how I think about that, because what we are sharing is that mindset goes all the way down into our hearts and
it affects way more than just your golf game.
Right.
It probably affected the how hard it is to actually start doing something like this and maybe filming yourself on the golf course or whatever it is.
Embarrassment, foolishness, mistakes will happen, and then that just exacerbates the issue.
Yeah, because this is a vulnerable. We're putting ourselves in a vulnerable position right now.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah,
I think our own like internal statements got to be like kind of the similar one we're given to fifth grade Greg over there.
Yeah,
it's like, well, we might not get this podcast right, but doesn't mean we can't try again next week.
Right. Well, it's what we hope. It's what we hope for our own boys or our own kids.
Totally.
And what we long for in ourselves, because we felt that.
Yeah. And I think part of what I'm trying to get at is the only way we can get this is if we give it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like God can give us all the grace and love and compassion and delight that he can, but it's only there if we're willing to receive it and end up giving it like a gift to ourselves.
Yeah.
So your dad might have the power to change the dynamic. I'm not really sure. My dad's gone.
Yeah.
But I can learn to be aware, have, enough self-awareness and noticing different things that are happening in my environment, messages that might be going on, negative, whatever it is. And then do some self-digging and some like introspective work to figure out where it goes back to, and figure out what I really need to actually extend to myself, or do for myself to write that path.
Yeah. What the wonderful thing that just occurred here, John, I think is a core important piece of what Greater Than Golf is all about.
Yeah.
Is so much of me coming to an understanding, a greater understanding of where things are. Sometimes, as much as I might want to try to acquire the skills or the tools, or even put myself in environments on my own, they aren't quite as great as when you can do them with other people.
Yeah. This work is best done in community.
Yeah.
Right. And have other people notice as well, or ask questions, or bring you within, is where I've found most of my stuff.
Yeah.
And where I've learned to kind of process like that. And can do it somewhat myself, but man, I can't really.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And
I need others.
Yeah. And it's creating those environments where there's a level and degree of trust where you can go wander into those places and become vulnerable enough for other people. You invite other people to share that. Well, and I appreciate that.
Well, thanks for letting me go there with you. Like, it is a privilege to go there in somebody's story to figure out, and these core memories, even though it's on a baseball diamond, there's some vulnerability there.
Oh yeah.
And you had to be willing to go there and trust me to care for 5th grade Greg.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So thanks.
Well, I think that's the important thing about how we get to a transformative mindset is you move in and through your heart, your mind, your soul, the truth, discovering some of those voices that are around there. I feel like in many ways we're coming to the end of this little episode.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good wrap on this segment.
Kind of, there's a lot of other things where we could go.
We've really just touched the surface. Yeah. But I think we could put a bow on this one, and I think it'd be
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, John.
Yeah. Until next time.
Sounds good. So thanks for joining us for Greater Than Golf. We hope you join us again. Thanks.
See you next time.
Bye.